My supervisor is such a hothead. He makes my blood boil. He blows a fuse, I see red, and it is just not cool. That's not actually true, sorry, my supervisor, but it does give a great example of how the English language is full of cliches that link anger and temperature. But is it actually true? Does heat get us hot and bothered? Despite being something we assume, it hasn't been well quantified, particularly in Australia. So now that's my job, to unravel the relationship between a temperature and aggressive behaviour. I started with what seemed like an obvious place, and I looked at assaults. So I took a daily count of violent crime in New South Wales, and I found, to simplify, as temperatures go up, so do assaults. It was by a lot. In Sydney, a 10-degree increase in temperature had an additional 24% increase in monthly counts of assault. That's 510 more men, women, and children who became victims of violent crime. I wanted to then see if this relationship applied to other proxies of aggression, so I looked at social media emotion. I used a really cool algorithm that went back and read Twitter posts for the past 10 years and collected those that contained angry terms and phrases. And I found that actually as temperatures increase, angry tweet counts decrease. But it's not linear. It got to a point about 35 degrees where in fact it went up. So it seems that, at least in extreme temperatures, even online aggression increases. These are posts that contain words like vile, enraged, and furious. I don't think we need more of that kind of content on the internet. My next phase of work is looking at build-up or accumulation. So how many hot days, or actually how many horrible sleepless nights, before we really start to feel angry? And does heat affect us all the same? Or does our age, our gender, the suburb which we live make a difference? Could I stand up one day in a court of law and say, Your Honour, it was the heat wave that made the little old lady from the North Shore turn her walking stick into a weapon? But bad jokes aside, my research really matters. If we can understand how the relationship between aggression and temperature works, we can predict. If we can predict, we can prepare and we can prevent. That's useful for policing, for hospital, for domestic violence support services, just generally making the world a nicer place. Of course, it also matters as we move into a warmer world from climate change. The forecast for Australia is that heat waves will be more intense, more frequent, and longer in duration. I am still crunching the numbers on what climate change means for aggressive behaviour, but I can tell you one thing already for certain. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are not already feeling angry that climate change is occurring, the weather might make you. Thank you.